All right, guys, Kimura from Side Control. I'm going to show two of my favorite ways to get into the Kimura when they have a frame across the neck. So, number one, always have your knees wide with side control with base. You're going to have your cross face under hook, pulling tight, and he's making the frame. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift his elbow and I'm going to shoot this hand a little bit deeper, grabbing in the armpit, and then pulling him to me to set a really good cross face. So I'm putting a little choking pressure on him right now, but not enough to tap him out. So my right hand is going to insert inside his hand. I'm going to lock my hands together with gable grip or lock my fingers together. What I'm looking to do is open his elbow by flaring my elbow up. I pummel my hip inside, and I use my hands and my head to break this grip on my gi. Once it breaks, I post my hand on the mat, and I shoot the underhook. So once we have the underhook, I'm going to cup inside the bicep. I drag my elbow on top of his sternum, and I put all my weight in his sternum. This hand's going to come across, I pull in, and I'm going to camp here for a minute, get him tired out. Now when I'm ready for Kimura, I step my leg over to his shoulder, I pinch him tight. Two ways to finish. I lock my Kimura, bring my arm through, lock the grip, thumbless grip. I curl my wrist in tight, attach his arm to my body. If he has a grip on his belt, I use the power of my legs to grip it free. I go up, aim to get my elbow to his armpit. At the same time, I push his hand to the back of his head. I keep my knee pinched in so his shoulders have no rotation. And he taps. Now, if you like to finish my preferred way, I'm going to let my leg slide out, drop my elbow to the mat. Now look, I switch to a thumb grip. I'm going to go to crank his hand all the way in his armpit, get his elbow high. He's going to tap soon, so I have to stop. But we're aiming to get this hand right up here. So curl your wrist in tight, use your knee to separate the head from the shoulder, and then you lift. Okay? So that's one of my favorite entries. Second entry I use off the cross face. Same thing as before. Lift, shoot, set a good cross face. When I insert this hand inside, as I'm breaking, if he's driving his hand in really tight to hide, go under my chest. If he's hiding like this, what I do is I push, push, push. What's he do? He pushes back. So when this happens, I take my hand palm up and I pull his elbow under my belly. Now I keep this pinned. Slowly, I'm working to get his hand to his hip. So I bring my arm over, I lift. Now with the rotation, if his elbow's in tight, I go palm to palm, I rotate up to expose his elbow. Left hand inserts in tight, and I grab my own wrist. Now you're gonna take time here. Lift up, bring your hand to the mat. Elbow next to the hip, slide it up, you okay? Sprawl, step your leg over the head. Use your head, or your knee to pin his head to the mat. Flare your elbow up and pull. That's how you finish a Kimura setups, 2 setups.